That's a whole nother planning committee. Yeah, it was on that trip.
So we may end up having to amend our ordinance, is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, if we can, and I just talked to Shane about another ordinance, that I'm gonna be doing some looking at tomorrow. So I'll just add this in with that, and I'm gonna have to, would you say 4 to 5 cities that have ordinances on that?
I have found 3 so far,
Okay,
and I called 5 cities today,
right,
couldn't get a clerk on the phone.
so getting a hold of people right now for some reason, even KBI, I was on the phone for 2 hours, I called back, I've been waiting for 3 days to finish a conversation. It's just getting return calls right now is like pulling teeth.
I have, probably my biggest problem with it is its proximity to the school. And, it just doesn't pass the sanity test for that to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger over there and us not being able to do anything about it, period. So, we're gonna figure a way around it. Okay, moving on, open records fee ordinance, we're gonna go ahead, table this one again. We just found, an answer to the issue that we had, so Amy's gonna rewrite it and present it at the next meeting.
Yeah, it's got some very small language that are in, and the issue about the cost, it's covered in here about what level employee who could charge to do the work. It's
Okay.
covered under the language
Okay.
for their hourly wages.
Okay, Hornet Edition discussion.
I spent a good amount of time Monday at Visitor Beats. And after doing that, and reviewing all the track data, it's clear to me that there were two deeds done at the same time in August of 2017. And one encompasses what is the Hornet Edition. That's the real estate on the south side of the country. The other one is the real estate on the north side, which is listed as commercial. And so it is, the covenants do not attach to that ground.
Would you say that again, please? The
Yeah.
covenants do not?
Yeah, the covenants do not attach to the northern section, and the covenants were adopted later in 2004, well, earlier actually in 2004. The resolution filed December 9th, 2004. But it applies to the Hornet Edition, which is the south side. When you look at the plat here, that's 8.6 acres commercial. 8.16. And then I went ahead and looked at the deeds associated with the Dollar General Store. And that went through 4 transactions with no necessary lease of covenants. It doesn't exist for that.
Who holds the deed on the north 8 point something?
City does. The 8.16. Yeah, it's a quick, from the Board of Education, that's it right there.
How did the city come to own this property?
It was quitclaimed by the Board of Education.
So the school had it donated to the school, and then it was quitclaimed to the city of Chetopa.
That's correct.
And so it wasn't part of the Hornet Edition.
No, it's listed as commercial, and then there, if you look below that, well, actually,
One we had there.
here's the multiple list.
They deeded
The
it over
Hornet
so we
Edition.
could get the dollar store. Is what.
So the deed in 2004-ish
Four-ish. Is so that we could get the dollar store.
was the quitclaim on it was 2 point something acres or something.
Well, it's what attached the covenants to the lots of the Hornet.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, in August, this quitclaim is dated the 31st of August, 2017. Ms. Crystal Adams notarized this in 2018 as a representative of the school, I imagine, so, This is city property to do with as we please, the way I see it, unless,
Yeah, I have to agree. I don't know if the city sold that land originally to Dollar General. I thought the Dollar General deeds to.
We didn't sell it, we just deeded it.
I'm sorry?
We didn't sell it, we just deeded it to the,
Okay.
be, so that we could have a dollar store.
Grantor USD 505 Chetopa, St. Paul.
I was gonna say, I think it belonged to the school and was donated for the dollar store.
Well, they donated it to the city.
There's the,
yeah, this says the city of Chetopa.
yeah, well, that's the first deed. You're gonna see.
But was that the land that the dollar store sits on, or
That, all those
what
deeds,
was it?
all
Was it?
those deeds are associated with the land that the dollar store is on.
Right.
And it went through about 4 different hands. It's an LLC hands, developers hands.
Sure,
They changed hands several times.
corporations that changed.
And you can keep those. It answers the question.
I can do some light reading.
It was something, that's when they put the stipulations on us. Dollar store.
Well, I didn't see any
I don't think it was
stipulations
recorded.
on the deeds.
I think it's just in the contract.
Well,
I don't know.
if you go on the GIS, it has a corporation on there where the dollar store says. Plus, there's an easement, that the Mopac Railroad has 0.8 acres on the front, which is where this controversy on mowing the grass has come from. Because it still belongs to the railroad.
I don't have any.
Railroad's never gonna mow the grass.
No, but they should do like they've done everything else and deed it over to the
I
adjoining property.
don't have any
Well,
copy, but that's the copy.
This is
The railroad,
Yeah.
the railroad did their MOPAC on that, they just dissolved.
Send me back on this from my file.
It's not gonna.
Right.
And just for the record, I was at the courthouse, I saw you there, and I talked to Clint Ball about it, and he pulled it up on his master computer,
Right.
and he said the same thing, that it has nothing to do.
Yeah, I had to dig through it for a while to figure it out. I figured it out. And it worked because I got all the deeds to my property. And I paid it off 3 years earlier than they I wanted all the deeds.
So with that, I'm gonna table the Haunted Edition discussion, because I want the council to simmer that over in their minds, and let's come up with some ideas of what to do with that property, if anything. But as it stands right now, it's costing us money in several ways, one being that we have to do the upkeep on the property as far as one. The other is we get no tax revenue because it's not on the books to any individual that pays property taxes. And there are some interested folks out there, but we need to be prudent in the way we look at it too, and what those folks might do with it if they bought it.
Well, I would hate to see people put cows out there with these nicer houses.
Well, regardless, it's in the city, so it's not.
Falls under the
It
ordinance.
falls under the
Yeah,
ordinance.
we're covered.
It's not 8 acres.
It's 8 acres. You can put anything as long as you own 2.
We don't have to sell it in one chunk.
That's true.
So we would never sell more than 1 acre or less than an acre.
Well, I asked that night it came up.
If it's sold as commercial, it's not convenient to get in there. You gotta
No.
go through,
Oh, yeah.
that needs to be cut out to the highway here to get into it.
Yeah, and then it's the easement that blocks the highway.
What are you gonna
That's a
do about
railroad,
the
isn't it?
contract?
Run over that railroad ain't come back, oh, we wanna put a water tower there for a steam engine, so.
They don't do
About
that.
livestock?
No, they won't do nothing with it.
It's a terrible piece.
They won't come and take care of the road up.
There's some thought.
That, maybe the idea is not to give it out in any bigger increments than, let's say, an acre or an acre and 3/4. Two
Whatever.
acres is the.
Yeah, 2 acres is the
breakpoint. So, but I just want the council to think this over, discuss amongst yourselves, and let's come up with a plan for the property, whatever that is. I've got my ideas, and I'm sure you all have yours.
I think with our work also on this stuff is that it points out to the same objective that we were mowing. Why were we mowing it as a finished land? why weren't we bush hogging it just every while? Why were we, why were we doing, what was the thought process that was going into that?
The standing opinion, when I mentioned bush hog versus John Deere commercial mowers, is the bush hog is just too slow. They want to run those mowers.
It doesn't matter if you got a 12-foot bush hog, it's running faster,
Yeah.
you know?
But if you remember, the subject came up when a citizen came in and complained about how tall the grass was. So we hadn't got to it. Now, we've had that situation, let's say over on the West Cherry property there, where a farmer that owns that land, even though it's in the city, mows it for hay. So they want it to grow,
Sure.
and they cut it in June. And we allowed that, so
Yeah.
it's just, you guys know all the facts now. We're gonna lay it out, and we're gonna keep it on the agenda and talk about it some more, but, we need to do something about it. Okay, Willow Street lift station generator repair. Chuck, what you got on that update?
Well, like before I ran the thing, I found the information I needed
Okay.
off the generator. All I gotta do is get the deal ordered for it, put it in. I'm gonna put a thermostat in too, although it was 35 degrees from intake to output water. There's nothing wrong with the radiator and stuff, so.
You're gonna order,
Yeah, I'll order that, and I'll get the thermostat, I'll put all that on there, and I'll get it to you.
thank you very much.
Is that all it's gonna be, is a thermostat?
Yeah, I'm gonna rack the exhaust too,
Right, I remember
because
that.
it's extremely hot.
And if I recall, when we were in that cabinet a year or so ago, it had just deteriorated from age, I think, around the exhaust pipe. But that stuff was there, and it had wire from,
Yep, stainless steel wire on it. Well, it has to have a low coolant sensor, that's what I had trouble locating, was that low coolant sensor. It's in the radiator and there's plenty of fluid in it, you unhook it and bypass it and I ran it for about an hour and a half. I didn't run under a load, but it never got hot.
okay, good. Moving on, proposed sick pay discussion. I think last, Chuck was gonna call
Yeah,
around.
Yeah, I did, I talked to two of them, I talked to Bryce up at the city of Oswego, and I talked to, Trump, and he's been there forever. They get nothing when they leave. It doesn't matter if they retire or they quit or anything, but at the end of their deal, I said, so you've been there since you got out of high school and you're not gonna get a nickel for sick pay, so I'm not in there. They give, 30 hours at Carl Junction. And I got looking at it, and their cities have tons of money, they're not in debt like we are. Neither is Carl Junction, they got a $7 million surplus. They got $5 million surplus in Oswego. We're $8.25 million in debt, and we sure don't need to be handing out more. I think fair enough, since it was already on there, that 30 days is plenty. That's,
Any other discussion?
Oh, at Pratt, when I was out there, you can accumulate whatever you get a day a month.
Right.
But if you leave, if you just quit, you get absolutely nothing. If you retire and you have a number of years in, you get paid for 20 days.
Right.
But you have to have that many built up,
Right.
so I,
Now again, before anybody makes a motion, I want to just say that in the departments that are only one deep in positions, if somebody takes a sick day, then we gotta pay time and a half to somebody else to cover that shift. Like in the water department, somebody's gotta be there. So, in your considerations. Go ahead if you want to make
yeah,
a
but
motion.
what did we pay out to get to, when the last one retired, resigned, what did we pay out? It's a lot of people, time and a half,
after current
that's
salary.
6 months, yeah, that's somebody doing it for 6 months straight, I don't think,
And not having somebody ready to go to fill the spot right then, without much notice. I agree as a contingency point for me. It put us in a spot. Jason jumped from private to colonel in about 5 minutes in here, so. I'll go ahead and ask for a motion if you wanna do the 30, and we'll go from there if it can pass.
A promotion to restrict it to 30 days sick leave,
Are we
only
grandfathered?
only on retirement, not on,
Just quit.
just quitting and resigning.
I'd second that.
Ernie had a statement, I think it's valid.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
was asking if we were gonna grandfather some of the ones that have been here the
Well,
longest.
I think
we're
we
good.
probably have to grandfather those in that were already,
Legal.
So I think that this should be
Yeah.
addressed towards
yeah, you're
new.
right.
I think this should be addressed towards new employees.
We have given them the opportunity to fill out the sheet, everyone had one, right?
And I believe everybody filled it out, leave it as it is.
Well, naturally,
Of course.
that's 900.
It's kind of a.
I was gonna say, I don't know any other employer that goes to all the employees and asks them what they want when you're discussing benefits. To me, that is just absolutely ludicrous.
No, but I wanted to give everybody a chance to weigh
It's
in
kind
on
of
their-
I think it was kind of an old thought, an old benefit that has been carried over for so many years that it
I think
kinda
it
got muddled, maybe, and that maybe they wanted to do something about it before and then didn't, and I just
Well, it
think
was
that.
to make up for,
No pay raise.
insufficient wage, yeah.
That's,
Well, I mean, that's what I was told, is that the wages, they were like, we're gonna stay at these lower wages because we know the city can't afford these higher wages, and then we got into this battle royale over, let's get the wages up there, you know, and
37% raise, yeah.
yes, and so, thank you. I don't wanna see somebody that's been, let's just for a word, it's not a good word, tenured, but somebody that's been with us for 20+ years
Yeah.
that they're looking towards the retirement, toward this benefit. So I don't wanna hurt nobody that's been.
Oh, I don't either. How many years we need to go back?
Can you max out what they're at right now to a certain point, the ones that you're grandfathering in?
To what they have right now in
They
sick
cannot
time.
accumulate a whole bunch more?
Well, I think we're only at what?
So-
How many employees are we affecting, Mike and you?
And
Paul.
Paul.
8 years and more, yeah.
and I think the highest number, I got a sheet somewhere, was 100, a little over 100 days, right at 100.
And according to Amy on retirees, that we do plan and budget. this.
Right. Right.
It's
It's,
different when they just quit.
it's different for people that just terminate their own employment.
Okay, so I had a motion on the floor by Chuck, and I had a second by Betsy to, change the employee sick days to 30 days max if you retire.
Is that for new
Grandfather.
hires, or are you going to a time frame of if they've been hired at a certain point?
I don't think it's gonna matter. There's 3 people that are involved in the grandfather, and that's,
Yeah, and those 3 ought to stay grandfathered in. The
Okay,
rest of
that
them
needs to
are
be
just.
part of the motion, so start over. Motion by Chuck, second by.
please don't interrupt, because I'm trying to get this in my brain too.
Okay,
So I got a motion by Chuck and a second by Betsy to change the employee sick days that can be accumulated or accrued to 30 days max. If you are retired. Other than that, there are 3 employees that are grandfathered in with the days they have accumulated. Is that good?
I think it's a good benefit still.
It's better than everything that I've heard
Oh, yeah.
that you've checked around. Okay. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Let's get that off the agenda, finally. Okay, status of sealed bids on 3 city vehicles.
Okay, I talked with Miles, the dump truck and the pole truck are running. We need to get batteries still for the yellow Ford. The batteries that we received will not work, the posts aren't in the right
I've
place.
seen it laying on the ground out there. Is that the batteries?
I'm not sure.
There's 2 batteries
Maybe a
laying on.
question from Miles.
Alright.
I can find out.
So did we order 6 batteries total for 3 vehicles? Is that like, and 4 of them were okay?
I don't know if the other two took 2 or, I'm not sure.
The yellow truck takes 2 batteries. The white,
The other
the
one.
white jet rod truck,
Mm-hmm,
it takes 2 batteries.
okay. So that must have been the deal, yes. I just know that the batteries didn't work for the yellow Ford. That's what we've got to get.
Okay.
So we're close to having a sale.
Yes.
And speaking of that sales, I'll tell you, I went to the county commissioners meeting Monday, which is where I ran into Shane in the hallway, but there are 18 abandoned cemeteries in Labette County that the county has to take care of. I'm so proud of Chetopa and what our cemetery looks like, because the discussion was how ragged those cemeteries look like, because the county really doesn't put the emphasis on it as, you know, I mean, they've got their priorities too, and that was kind of dropped in their lap because the cities that own those have left them to grow. To kind of dovetail in, Patty and I went to a meeting with the lady that controls the money for the state of Kansas, isn't that right? The whole state?
Yeah, she's from Topeka.
Right. And we went up there with our guns loaded, but I didn't get a good feeling. I don't think Patty did either coming out of there, because she kind of hard to read if we were going to be able to get any more money. But what you need to know is we're going to have a cemetery meeting at the next council meeting, and Bill's contract is coming due. It's a 2-year contract that we had him on, and he's wanting to renew it at the next meeting. So you'll be getting a copy of that contract in your next packet. I don't know that anybody has anything bad to say about the work he does out there in his group. If you look around the pond, that overgrown area is a city responsibility. That's not his, and we haven't got to that. Also, I did mention, I got a chance to talk, and I did mention about how concerned we were with having the sheriff's tax sale this fall like we were promised. I got the same answer I got I got 4 months ago, or whatever it was. There's 4 people that need to sign off on having a sale. Just to go into a little detail about it. We don't really get a lot out of a sale like that, but we save a lot because we're not mowing the property, and maybe the new owners will take a little bit more pride than the ones that ended up losing it at the tax sale anyway. And that's my point, that we need to get it back on the books, and we don't have to mow and upkeep the property. And then, you know, if somebody decides to move in there or renovate, then we get back on utilities as well. So that was my point to them. I just want you guys to know that we're still talking that subject. Okay, 1504 Maple Street. Jason, do you have any update on that?
I believe the owner is California, right? Did you ever get a reply to your message or email? No. So I have tried to email him. He doesn't answer his phone. I haven't got anything back. Crystal found the owner. It's the same one we've tried to before. I think he's answered. Did he answer a while back? Yeah, he answered a while back, but he's not answering to me now at all. I don't know what else we can really do with that. We can.
Was that property on the delinquent tax list?
It should be.
You
It
know
hasn't
the
been,
name?
it hasn't been, do you remember his name?
We'll look at
There's
it.
too many for me to
No.
remember which one's which.
That may be,
Someone out.
that may be our way out.
But
I understand the neighbor wants to buy the property and clean it up. It's so bad that they're tired of looking and smelling it. And that doesn't say a lot for us as a city government, but
When you were there, did they happen to mention what years they were gonna have a tax sale at when they went to go to have a tax sale? Cause it's not anything current, to my best of my knowledge, maybe to 2018 tops.
I think he said 2 years, but
Yeah, it's way back there because that list came out in the paper and I've been working on it and I think it's not gonna be what you think it's gonna be current people.
well, my understanding is that after 3 years of back taxes,
Yeah,
it's eligible.
yeah. It hasn't worked, Shane. I mean, they,
I've never done one,
they stop at a certain point because there's so many. Yes, we'll go to the sheriff's sale.
You know, for me, it's somewhere to start and get a
Yeah,
beginning,
I
because there's
totally-
properties that these people have been dead for 20 years,
Yeah,
and it's still in their name, because the folks that are going up there and paying the taxes, if they do, don't wanna put the deed in their name so we can get a hold of them.
yeah.
It's a game. I'm coming to that conclusion anyway.
Just don't be disappointed when the sheriff's sale actually comes out and what year they actually do through.
I'm not gonna be disappointed, I just wanna get off center on it and get something rolling, because it's an eyesore. And you know, speaking of that, I know there was some talk about an individual that was trying to find a house in town, and was looking for a real estate agent. Everybody was throwing all these real estate agent names at him, but not one person said, well, why don't you build a house over in the Hornet Edition? We've got 6 lots over there. So the word isn't out that we would let somebody even build a house. So we need to pass that around, council, and advertise that. There's benefits to building on those 6 lots, because my understanding was we give the property to them. They don't have to pay for the land, and we put the utility connections in. Okay, moving on. Storage container ordinances in other cities. I think this has to do with the metal.
I haven't had much luck with that. As I said, I called 5 cities today, couldn't get a clerk on the phone. I also had my secretary search through cities. Hold on a while. And what I have found is, you know, Parsons is zoned, but I've got what Parsons has, I've got what Prairie Village has, and I've got what the city of Goddard, Kansas has. So that's the only that I can find for you to
Check.
look right there.
More
I don't know
like-
that a lot of cities have done anything yet, quite honestly.
More like reading. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, Betsy, fence along Veterans Park Riverbank, I read your letter, that sounds like a good idea to me, but I've seen that wire, what is it, 4x4, 6x? There's a swing gate already there, I went down and looked at something that's a good idea, I think you go ahead and roll something up to those posts, it's already there.
Well, I just wanted to put it together for you, so you could read it, and then when we get talking, get money.
I gave Miles a copy of the letter, I copied him right before they clocked out, so he's gonna go down and look at it and then he'll get back with me.
Okay,
Thank you.
and the bid was, you said, about $216
But if we
for
can
the
utilize,
fencing.
if we can utilize stuff that we
Yeah.
have here, that would be great.
This gives us an idea what to build on though, and that's what I'm looking for, is get something to talk about. We've got a possibility of a welder coming on, I understand, so. we'll table that. Okay, next we have the ICR transformer swap out over at, Russell Creek Engineering. Fred and Chris Goddard came over, those of you who were here at the meeting, you know that whole story. So we got, Tolton and company over there. We need to get those transformers replaced to get to the 480 volts? And get them up off the ground. The bid to do that, just for the labor, is $2,880. I'm thinking we already have the transformers out here that we can use for that, is that correct?
I don't know on that.
Somebody said that. to me already.
There's a whole bunch out there, so
I think
assume
so,
that-
I took some pictures of them and sent them to that guy over there, and there's several of them out there that work.
And we've got several poles out
Yeah,
here.
yeah, I also seen pictures of lines, every time we run a main line through there, and we jump to another main line running out, we're using too small a wire between the jumps. That could be a voltage problem, he said, there's no difference, if you tell them you got a garden hose, you have a fire hose and you put it through the garden hose,
That's a good, right.
electric runs over the top of the wire anyways, but it causes a lot of resistance, causes the voltage to go up, or the amperage to go up, the voltage to go down. And that may be something that's problem, because I followed that line all the way out this place. And every time in a turn in a corner, they ran heavy wire, and then they run a little thin wire down to the next heavy wire running, where you're losing everything when you stop that. And so I didn't drive them here and drop them 3 or 4 times a week. I looked at all theirs and they're the same way. They had the same size wire running from both lines, so.
Is this where it's been spliced, or was this
No,
intentional?
that's where they go to transition, when they're turning a corner, they just drop down and then they can't turn the wire, so they drop down to the run and all that stuff. That line coming all the way from the
Something
road.
a little bit.
The other thing I think of is we still need to keep in mind that they may want to expand further than what we're anticipating with this. It sounds like they're doing a heck of a business over there now, and
Yeah, now the co-op's closed, they're not selling
right.
any beds and stuff, so they'll pick all that up.
And I didn't realize they had, what was it, 10 or 11 employees over here already. So. What we need is a motion to go ahead and allow the estimate.
It says it's just an estimate.
But we can approve up to that amount.
Okay, I make that motion to approve up to $2,880 to ICR Electric.
For labor on the Russell Creek Engineering transformer replacement. Got a motion by Betsy,
I'll second.
second by Jessica, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. We'll try to get them on that.
Yeah.
Okay, Officer Eckler's restitution, Shannon.
Alright, I've got a copy, I haven't filed this petition yet, Amy just recently gave me an update on her that Scott had given her a while back. She's still employed apparently by the Galena PD, but she's also now the Galena Unified School District Resource Officer.
Yes, I met her last week.
Oh, really?
I was privileged to see her last week, yeah.
Well, we're gonna be meeting her again.
It was at a football game.
Anyway, I've looked at the petition, I need to change a little bit of language, I didn't enter in the favor for attorney's fees, which contract calls for. And the contract will be an attachment to it, and I have all the documents and figures from the clerks for that, and there's a copy of the petition and the latest issue regarding the Galena. I'm gonna change that petition slightly, that in essence is the whole thing, with the add-on of the exhibits being for contract with us, and then the calculation of damage.
More likely.
Can I see that? I'll copy it and get that to you.
No problem.
I will.
Okay, thank you for that update. Any other old business? We had a list, but we might have forgotten some. Okay, new business. It's that time of year. Jared Gilmore and Phillips has given us their bids for the 2025 audit and the 2027 budget prep. On the audit last year, they charged us $7,700, and they're asking for $8,000, so a $300 raise this year. I remember asking Tony at the last year or two to shop this around, and this actually is a pretty good price for what they do.
Yeah.
And on the budget prep, they're asking for $2,900. And I don't,
Same.
same, okay, yeah. So,
Amy, do you want two motions?
We can do one motion that you are, you're gonna okay the mayor's signature for, on the engagement letters for both the 2017 budget prep and the 2025
I'll
audit.
make that motion to
did you say
approve
2017?
the cost of the budget and the cost of the audit.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion by Betsy and a second by Ernie to, allow me to sign the engagement letter to Jared Gilmore and Phillips for the 2025 city audit and 2027 budget prep. $7,700 and $2,900 respectively. All those in favor? Opposed?
You said 7,700, but you mean $8,000, up to, not to exceed $8,000.
Excuse me, you're right. Let me back up. Yes. Amend that, 8,000, not 7,700, and 2,900 respectively. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, lastly, the new business. We held a job interview, and I'm talking about myself, Linda, Ernie, and Justin, with Mr. Lucas Wilkinson. He is wanting to join our Public Works Department. Nobody had any real concerns that were voiced at the time, but we did not, at the prior meeting, give this interview panel the authority to hire. So we're gonna bring it to a vote at the council. If you have any concerns, now would be the time to bring those up. Otherwise, I'll ask for a motion. Because I'm going to appoint Luke Wilkinson to the Public Works position, so. Is that a motion, Ernie?
Yeah, I'll make the motion to hire Luke.
I'll second.
Got a motion by Ernie, a second by
To
Betsy.
confirm your appointment.
Confirm my appointment.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Congratulations to Mr. Wilkinson, the motion passes. He will be starting next Tuesday. That will bring, as far as I'm concerned, that brings us up to full speed out in Public Works. My vision to him was, he's coming on at a good time, because as soon as the leaves really start falling, we're gonna start trimming trees.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be his primary concern, one, either driving or trimming, or however they wanna work it out, but that's why we went ahead and staffed up for the fall. That said, we've got an executive session scheduled, so I'll need a motion for 10 minutes. Non-elected personnel, I need to have all the council, the clerk, the treasurer, the police chief, court clerk, and the city attorney in this, please.
I'll make that motion for 10 minutes executive session on elected personnel.
So a motion by Betsy, second by Ernie. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?